have the opportunity to preach. One of the things that it does for me is it helps me to focus on the fact that I need to read the scriptures every week. And it allows me the opportunity to look at the lectionary and to understand how much that the scriptures are a living document. Because every time I look at the scriptures, I either find something new or I am always so amazed at how the text seems to address what's happening in my life or in the world. And I realized that if I didn't have to preach every week, that I may not sit down and read the scriptures on a weekly basis. And what a loss that is. So I continue to commend to you this practice. And in the tidings every week, you'll find all of the scriptures every month. The scriptures are listed every week so that you could follow along and apply this practice yourself. Because I find how much it strengthens me in my spiritual well-being. So when I read the scriptures this week, and I start on Monday, and I read over them every day, sometimes a couple of times a day, depending on what my activities are going to be, it occurred to me that in the scriptures this week, we see David again, and he now is in control, and the ark is back. And the words that struck me the most were that God gave David rest. God gave David rest. And I thought, wow, I wonder if I check in, if I can get some rest too. But if you go on, it says from his enemies. And I went, well, I have rest from my enemies. So I guess the other rest I have to take care of myself. But it is important to note that God gave David rest. And David looked around him and said, wow, look at this that I have. And God is outside in a tent. The Ark of the Covenant, which we've just brought back here, was a huge, joyous event. But God is in a tent. I have something beautiful, and I want God to have something beautiful too. And Nathan, the prophet, said, you in with God, go ahead. And God came back and said, Nathan, wake up. Did I ask you for a house? And what's the answer? God said, no, I didn't ask you for a house. I am everywhere. I am wherever you are. You know, I don't need a house. I didn't ask for a house. And in the last several weeks, I've been keenly aware in Louisa County of who has a house and who doesn't have a house. We were recently told by a guidance counselor that the number of homeless young people who are going to school, so that's kindergarten through 12th grade, went from 60 to 80. There are 80 children who are attending schools in Louisa County currently who do not have their own house. That means one of three things. It means either they're living in a car, they're living in a tent, they're living in an abandoned house, or they may live on Aunt Susie's porch one week and Mrs. Smith's house another week, and then somewhere else the next week. 80 children don't have a place to live. And it occurred to me at that time, I thought, well, aren't they living a faith-filled life because God didn't have a place to live either? Maybe not. So God gave David rest. Now the other thing that occurred to me this week as I was thinking about the scriptures was whole day and decided that you never had time to go to the bathroom? Yes, I know school teachers often, I think sometimes, right? Nurses, school teachers, nurses. Does that happen for men too? The guys are going, no way. No, doesn't happen for us. It's good to know. I had no idea. But there are some professions when all of a sudden, I know my mom would come home and went, I just realized I haven't been to the bathroom all day. I think that might be the way that the disciples are feeling at this point in the gospel. Right? That's what I'm thinking. They are so busy. So many people are bringing people to Jesus to be healed. So many people are coming to listen to him teach. So many people are coming that they have no, it says in the gospel, which is kind of the refined way, they don't even have time to eat. If you don't have time to eat, you probably don't have time for other things either. That's how busy they were. And what did Jesus say to them? I know we haven't done this question and answer thing for a couple of weeks, but it's not. What did he say? He said, let's get out of here, right? Let's go to a deserted place. Means a couple of things. There aren't any people around, right? That's right. Let's go somewhere where we can have some quiet time. Let's go somewhere where we can eat. Let's go somewhere where we can rest. All right. In creation, in the beginning, God created the world. He created it in 6 days, and then what did he say? On the last day, you rest. You rest. Now, for all of the A-type personalities in the room, and I'm looking around, and some of them are here, some of them are not. Hopefully they'll see it online. For those A-type personalities in the room, God said there's an expectation in your spiritual life, if you're going to follow me, that you need to rest. You need to rest. And what does that mean? It means that we need to be quiet. It means that we need to find a place that's comfortable. That we need to open ourselves up to talking to God. Just to spend time talking to God about all of the things that are happening or not happening. Not while we're doing the dishes, not while we're cutting the grass, not while we're driving somewhere. To rest. And then we need to take the time and listen. Often called meditating. Prayer is when we talk. Meditation is when we listen. And a lot of times, if Nathaniel had not been listening, David would have made a mistake. And there are some people that are better listeners than others. And oftentimes, like Nathaniel, they come in and say, God's asked me to give you, and down south they call it to give you a word. God's asked me to give you a word. I think that there's something going on, and I want to share this with you because I think this is something God wants you to know. And that's what happened with Nathan. He came in and said to David, you may have God's favor, but this isn't what God wishes for you at this time. This isn't your assignment to take on. This is another person's assignment. So, you're not going to be able to do it the way God wants it to be done because God wants somebody else to do it. Sometimes we get so busy, we get so wrapped up in our lives, and we make sure that it's what God wants us to do. Because what happens if it was somebody else's assignment? What happens if God needed somebody else to do that? To strengthen his relationship with them. And in your willingness to want to help, you've done something that, in the big picture, may hurt. It means that we need to take time to rest, to listen, to hear what God has to say to us, and to say what we need to say to God. Jesus experiences the crowd. The crowd comes in and he goes, and they were like sheep without a shepherd. Who was the shepherd before Jesus came? The shepherd before Jesus came was David. And God said to David, look, David, I took you, all the brothers were there, but you were out with the sheep. I pulled you in, out of the sheep. You were taking care of the sheep. And now, this is what your assignment is. And that this house and your ancestors, Ruth, all of the people that were related to David through the line, until it comes to Jesus, who was the ultimate shepherd of the sheep. Jesus is here, not only in this building, but wherever you go. God's word to David was, you just can't keep me in a house. I'm too big for one place. And that all of us together now are the reflection of Christ's body in the world. What we have to be careful is that the eyes do the seeing, and that the ears do the hearing, and that the hands do the helping. Because all of us create one body. If the eyes start to do the hearing, we're in really serious problems. So this week, take an opportunity to make sure that you're doing the resting that you need to do. Take time to talk to God. Take time to listen. Make sure that you're not taking somebody else's